I'm here at the SAQA 2012 exhibit at the International Quilt Festival in Houston, and I'm very fortunate to have the SAQA Executive Director, Martha Sielman, who I recently interviewed at the Birmingham show.
I know.
To tell us about this beautiful show. Can you tell us a little bit about this exhibit?
Sure. This is our seasonal palette exhibit, and we asked 37 artists to make a long, narrow piece that would celebrate one of the seasons. Each of the pieces is 32 inches wide by 78 inches long, and they really work beautifully in this space. Because the artists were making pieces specifically for this exhibit, we asked them each to keep a journal of their process, their inspirations, sketches, fabric samples, and this is a wonderful example. This is, here we go, Roslyn DeBoer's journal of her piece celebrating summer. And she experimented with all different kinds of surface techniques in the fabric itself to create her piece and give it just incredible texture.
Wonderful examples of that texture and color.
So here's great ruching that she's done on these rosettes that are here in the hills of her piece. Here's some more process photos showing different things she tried. Here's some kind of maybe pleating or piping that's in there.
Stuffed piping, I think.
Yes, I think you're right. And she just created a stunning piece celebrating all of the really vibrant colors of summer.
And so obviously you have the four seasons.
That's right.
And it's in this very trendy vertical format of banner quilts, and we've seen that at several quilt shows this year.
Right.
And I think you've done a really fine job of displaying them.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that narrow shape makes a very dramatic statement, and this is a lovely space to sit and appreciate the beautiful artwork.
It really is. Well, thank you so much, and we're going to go have a look at the quilts now.
Enjoy.
Thank you. So we're going to go straight to Roslyn DeBoer's piece so you can see the amazing detail on this quilt. When you're in the room, your eye just naturally goes to this, partially because of the lighting, but also the vibrant colors. And this is part of the summer season. If you take a close look, you'll see the ruching and the stuffed piping that we saw inside of her journal, but also take a look at all these other elements that are sewn and layered and stitched on top and scrunched, and we've got silk dupioni and yarn, and it looks like some kind of organza at the top. It's a brilliant piece of creative mastery, and you just can't help but be fascinated when you take a look at it. So this exhibit is called Seasonal Palette, and we're going to start off here in spring. And here's a very typical and realistic image by Grace Errea that depicts birds in a nest. Notice the fine detail on the birds, but it also has kind of an abstract quality to it as well. Here's another springtime-inspired piece by Ann Waugh of Denver, Colorado, close to my hometown. And she was inspired by a purple spring flower, but she has come up with a very textural abstract piece. This is a piece that you look at from a distance, you say, what the heck is that? And you come up close to look at the details. It's a lot of fun. This piece is by Arle Sklar-Weinstein, and it's very interesting with these layers of transparency and dimension, paint textures. It's very three-dimensional. It's a whole experience. As we move from spring into summer, take a look at this vibrant piece by Chaimovich from Israel. Take a close look at the fused elements and the stitching. This beautiful color poem looks abstract, but it's actually from a photograph of water reflections in Venice. It's by Barbara Schneider, and she's also inspired by the Japanese concept of wabi-sabi. As we come to the end of summer, what else could we have but tomatoes? This is by Jeannie P, and she screen printed these tomatoes and fused and stitched. As we enter early fall, we have this piece by Nancy Whittington from North Carolina, and she wants to really express the soft luminescence of her hometown fall with these beautiful colors and the silk dupioni. They have a very home deck feel to them, and the large leaves are very dramatic, don't you think? As we travel through autumn, we are going to take a look at this piece by Diane Melms, who lives in Anchorage, Alaska, and I can just imagine how these hot colors must bring her comfort to work on it in the dead of winter. Take take a real close look at the piecing and the stripes. This quilt by Daren Redman was attracting a lot of attention. When you first look at it, it may seem simple. It's kind of a modified Bargello concept with a lot of beautiful colored stitching on top. But I think what is really drawing people in is just the vibrant color. Again, the seasonal palette is all about color. I have shown you some quilts by Marianne Williamson in the past, and we never get tired of taking a really close look at the applique and the raw edge and the fused and layered and stitched details that this amazing artist lays down year after year. Nancy Cook brings us a representational piece here with a lot of great textural interest. The apples are really popping out because of the dense stitching in the background. As we move into winter now, Ruth Powers gives us this image called December Dawn, with the representational deer, but still the background and the trees are very abstract. It's very interesting to see how she creates texture with different types of patterns in the fabrics themselves. Often we're inspired by travel, and this piece by Martha Wolfe is inspired by a trip to Stockholm, and it has a great sense of scale. You can actually feel like you're walking along the street in this piece. As we travel deeper into winter, we are really fascinated by this piece by Linda Colsh. Take a look at the digitally manipulated figures. They're repeating, but each one is different. And I did notice at the preview, again, that many people were coming up and taking a close look at this piece, saying, how did she do that? This piece by Kathy Loomis was inspired by icebergs and glaciers. And I think it's a fine place for us to end our trip around the year in the SAQA Seasonal Palette exhibit. Thanks for joining me. See you next year.